So now I'll draw an object here. So in Attributes Eyedropper, in effect, these are some of the effects which you can copy from one object to another object. Okay. We'll see the perspective part first. Okay, we'll take this perspective. Okay, so for perspective, what you need to do is to understand. I'll fill this object with some color. In perspective, you can find it here. See, this is add perspective. In effects, you can see this is perspective. In perspective means you can drag any of the corner of this object and you can change the shape of an object. Okay, so that's the perspective. So I have changed the shape of this object. So drag any of the corner and you can change the perspective. So this is the perspective. But I have given some shape to this. So perspective, you can find it here in effect, add perspective. So this is perspective. I have applied some perspective part here to this. Okay, I'll give some outline to this. Increase the outline size. So I filled it with color, filled it with outline, and I applied some perspective effects. Sorry, this is add perspective effect. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll draw another object here. Remember, you can draw any object, even if you draw a circle. Suppose if I draw a circle here, I want to copy all the perspective effects from here to here. I'll go to the Attributes Eyedropper, effects. I'll select only perspective. Rest of the thing you check, nothing is selected. It untick this, both the things. I do not want the fill and outline also. In effect, I'll select only the perspective part. Okay, I'll copy the perspective part from here and paste it here. So I guess this is a very different object. That's the reason it's not copying these effects to this second object. So I'll draw a box, then we will see the changes. I'll copy the perspective effects, paste it here. Okay, so what it is doing is it is copying the perspective effects, but the size is not changing according to this. It is not changing the size. So for that, what we need to do is we also need to select few other things. That is, in Attributes Eyedropper, in properties, let's not select these things. I do not want to copy the outline and fill. I'll select only the size and see. Okay, now I selected only the size here, and in effects I selected only the perspective. Okay, so I'll copy the properties from here and paste it here. See, it has given the perspective effect, but the size has completely changed. So select all the things, press OK. We'll try again. We'll draw an object and add some perspective to this. Okay, given some perspective effect to this. I'll draw another object and I want to copy all the perspective effects to this. What I'll do is select only the perspective here, click on this, paste it here. See, it has copied all the perspective effects to this object. We'll see again. First, what we'll do is we'll remove all these effects, size, rotation and position, and let this be ticked, because as it is there is no filling here, so it doesn't make any difference. So I'll copy only the perspective effects. Okay, I'll copy it from here and paste it here. So it has copied all the perspective effects, but before that I'll untick all these things and undo this. Okay, I'll copy only the perspective effects from here to this. See, it has copied all the perspective effects from this object to another object. Okay, we'll try again. I'll draw an object. Okay, fill it with some color and give some perspective effects. This is perspective means you can change the shape of an object. Okay, and I'll draw another object and I want all these effects to be applied on this perspective effects to be on this object. Okay, along with the fill and outline color. I'll go to this Attributes Eyedropper, copy the effects and paste it here. See, it has copied all the effects to this. Okay. And suppose if the Attributes Eyedropper, I do not want the fill and outline, and just copy these things, and then only copy the perspective effects, copy it, paste it here. See, it has only copied the perspective. That's the perspective effects. Okay, so what it does is it copies all the perspective effects. Perspective, you can find it here. This is perspective. Okay, now next is in Attributes Eyedropper, next is envelope. Untake this perspective first, because if you copy, if you just want an envelope effects from one object to another object, and if perspective is ticked, it also copies the perspective effects if it is there on the object. I just want the envelope effects. Press OK. Remember to press OK, otherwise if you just simply come out by clicking this, if you just simply come out, it won't be selected. Okay, and remember to press OK. Now I'll draw an object here and gives up envelope effect. See, envelope, you can find it here. This is envelope. Envelope is also the same thing. You can change the look of an object. Okay, this is envelope effect. Okay, all these effects I want to copy in another object. I'll draw an object here. Go to Attribute Eyedropper, select only envelope, press OK. Rest of the things are not selected. I press OK. Select all the envelope effects and paste it. See, it has copied all the envelope effects from one object to another object. Undo this and fill some color and see. Suppose if I fill any color here, increase the outline size, and now I want all the filling options also to be copied to this along with the envelope. What I need to do is go to Attributes Eyedropper. In properties, you need to select outline, fill, and in transformation you can select this size, rotation as it is not there, position. If you select it, change along with the envelope effects and the color and the size, it positions the objects here. If that means it overlaps this object. Okay, so I'll not select the position. Okay, now only the envelope I selected. Remember to press OK after selection. Remember to press OK. I have copied all the effects from here and pasted here. See, it has, along with the filling effects, it has also copied the envelope effects. Okay, the envelope is here. This is envelope. Okay.